Yeah, both players 1-1, and I want to talk a little bit about that last game real quick. I think that when WhiteRa pushed out, he had that significant Colossus Force, and he had great, superb positioning against IdrA. Where he engaged IdrA, I know you didn't see this, Husky, but he engaged him right where the expansion was at, and it's very difficult for IdrA. It was very difficult for him to get that concave around the Protoss forces, and he couldn't flank, he couldn't concave, he was forced in a frontal position, and the force fields just did the rest of the work. So I think it just came down to nice positioning from WhiteRa. And so yeah, we're here 1-1 already, and so it is going to be on Kulos Ravine. Once again, there is over $3,000 on the line in this tournament. We do want to thank IRIP, our sponsor. So if you guys don't know who that is, go to Google, type in IRIP, check it out. Great program. They made this entire tournament possible. And for right here, first place winner is going to take home $2,000. Second place going to take home $1,000, I believe. So there are high stakes up for grabs here, and it is going to be Kulos Ravine for game number 3.
Yeah, not too shabby, you know, making it to the finals and walking away no matter what happens. One of these players, well, both of them, no matter what happens, are going to get $1,000. But, of course, they want to get that additional $1,000. I don't know what the Ukrainian currency is, but he's going to get $1,000.
It's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, man, both players definitely want this. I think it's like 50 trillion won if you work it out. And so I'm surprised to actually see this go 1-1 already. I don't know how effective that Immortal was last game. I was actually really wanting to keep an eye on if getting that Immortal was worth it or not. I mean, he did end up winning, so is he going to do a similar build here? It's worked 50% of the time, and I think that WhiteRa likes those odds, and so really curious, though, to see if WhiteRa is going to change up his game or keep going, you know, straight ahead.
Now, the tough thing for WhiteRa on this map is that you can't grab that fast expansion. You can't wall it off with the forward gateway that we've seen from WhiteRa for games 1 and 2. So he's not going to get that early economic boost. And he can't do anything about IdrA grabbing this expansion. There's just nothing a Protoss player can do unless you straight up cheese them. So he is going to fall behind in the early to mid game if he allows IdrA's macro to run away, and he's not going to be able to grab that expansion. Now, towards the late mid game and the late game, the Protoss player has the advantage of abusing Colossus on this map. Colossus are very, very powerful on Kulos Ravine. So we'll see if this game IdrA falls to Colossus again, or if he gets those Corruptors earlier to deal with that.
Look at this, WhiteRa actually putting a pylon at the choke here of IdrA, and so, yeah, that's too funny. He was hoping, I think, that those drones wouldn't spot it. Is he going to try? Oh, he's going to throw down a forge! He needs to keep that probe alive as long as he possibly can, and wow, this is going to put the hurt on IdrA because IdrA actually got his spawning pool after hatchery, so we're saying it's hard to punish unless you kind of go all in like this. IdrA pulling off these drones, it seems a little bit early. Do note, though, that recently there was a nerf to the forge, less HP, less shields, and takes longer to warp in.
Right, and I think this is going to hurt WhiteRa pretty bad. He can't defend the Forge from these Forge drones, and there's a Zealot here coming from WhiteRa, so WhiteRa does have his gateway chrono-boosting Zealots on the way. The Forge is getting some hurt being laid down, but it doesn't matter. I don't think the cannons are on the way. Now, the reasoning for placing the Forge like this, it doesn't allow IdrA to get his Zerglings out to deal with these cannons, and he's got to take down the Forge first, but I think the Forge is going to get taken down. Oh, the Zergling's slipping out. Uh-oh. Now, but WhiteRa does have 2 Zealots, so I think he might be able to deal with this. It's going to be so close.
I think the control from WhiteRa was a little bit less than what he had wanted. The Zealot's still alive. The cannon getting focused down, shooting as fast as he possibly can to kill all these units. Going for the drones, not the best idea. Although the cannon is going to hold, but the Zealots are going to go down. Yeah, he's able to keep both the cannons so far. Oh, the drone eats up that cannon at the last gasp effort there. So I don't know if this is actually going to pay off because there is only one cannon here. There is another Zealot on the way to guard it, and it is in range of that hatchery. The Spine Caller trying to run down here, but look at this. IdrA going to get a perfect surround on this cannon right when the Spine Caller is burrowing. I think WhiteRa is in a lot of trouble here. Great control here from IdrA. Gonna be able to break this, so this is very bad for WhiteRa.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, I think that WhiteRa did a lot of economic damage. He killed about 4 or 5, several drones, really. And he also forced IdrA to produce all these early Zerglings. And what was the cost to WhiteRa? That is the question. Well, he placed a pylon, he placed a forge, and he placed 2 cannons. That's a pretty severe detrimental cost, but I think he did enough damage to justify that. I would almost imagine right now that both players are actually pretty much reset, and I think it was a pretty even trade. The Zerglings aren't going to be able to make it in to do a counterattack because WhiteRa's got a nice wall-off going on here.
The wall-in, definitely what he needed. I mean, I think IdrA is hoping for a free win here by running into the main, but WhiteRa did keep up on top of his macro. I'm surprised he was able to make that many workers. He does have a similar amount to IdrA. The problem is that expansion is up for IdrA. So can WhiteRa make something happen here? That was great control there.